The beautiful, beautiful park. Hundreds of people came to live in the big buildings. Every day, people rushed past the tree on their way to work. They chattered and shouted. They got into cars, buses, and trains, which made the place very noisy again. More machines came to dig and to drill. The machines were very noisy too. The machines built a big road right in front of the tree. The road covered the stream. Cars and buses filled the big road. The branches of the tree swayed every time a truck thundered past. Then the machines came back and they built another road right on top of the first one. There were big towers of concrete holding up the top highway. The top highway blocked the sunlight even more. At nighttime, it blocked the view of the stars in the sky. It blocked the air too, and even more cars and buses rushed past. The air was filled with smoke, and the leaves of the tree grew dirty. The tree still grew his new leaves in spring, but they quickly got dirty too. In the autumn, he still had shiny orange persimmons, and birds still came to peck at the fruit. But the tree missed the other trees, the animals, and the little boy. He missed the peace and quiet. He missed the stars. He missed the fresh air. For years, the little tree was sad, since it was in the shadows of the big buildings and the big highways. The dirt from all of the cars covered the little tree. The noise of the cars, buses, and highway battered the little tree. Nobody climbed up the tree. Nobody took photos of the tree. Nobody even stopped to look at the tree. The tree got older and older and dirtier and dirtier. His branches drooped down. Then, one day in autumn, an old man came along. His legs were slow and he was bent over. His hair was white and he had a stick to help him walk. He looked up at the little tree. When the tree saw his face, he knew who it was. The tree saw that it was the little boy, only now he had grown old too. The old man smiled at the tree. He took a photo of the tree and the tree smiled back. He came up to the tree and touched it gently. The branches of the little tree swayed. He picked a juicy persimmon, cut it in half, and saw the shape of the star. He bit into the orange fruit. It was just as delicious as he remembered. He looked up at the branches of the tree. Up on one branch there was an old piece of rope. It was the last piece of rope left on the tree that the children used to swing on over the stream. The old man looked at the rope and remembered. "Don't you worry, my friend," he said to the tree. "I am going to make sure that you are happy again." Then he sat down just in front of the tree and wrote something in a big book. After that, he came back to see the tree every day. One day he brought some other people with him, and they walked around and looked at the highway and back at the tree. They were important men and women in smart clothes with briefcases, computers, and phones. They measured and they talked busily. They looked up and down. They looked at the cars and trucks rushing by. They looked at the concrete towers and the tall buildings. They looked at the tree and typed words into their computers. They drew pictures on their computers. When it got dark, the old man pointed up into the sky. They all looked up in the sky, but they could not see the stars. Then the next day they brought machines. These machines were even bigger than the machines that had come before. The tree watched sadly. He thought they were going to build even more roads and buildings. But this time the machines started to pull down the big highway. They pulled down the big buildings. They took all the pieces away on trucks. They uncovered the little stream. The sunlight shone on the running water. Next to the stream, they dug down into the ground and they planted flowers. On the other side of the stream, they planted seeds and new little trees started to grow. Next to the stream, there was a pretty pathway, and people began to walk along it. Soon every morning, people walked along the pathway and went past the little tree. They were happy as they walked, and they always looked at the little tree and smiled. There were no cars, no trucks, and no machines. It was quiet and peaceful again. Then animals came, birds came, and fish came in the stream. All the time, the little persimmon tree watched. Every year in the spring, he grew leaves. In the autumn, he had shiny fruit. But now there were other trees, animals, and the old man. Now at night time, they could see the stars again. Children climbed up the tree. They swung from his branches and swam in the stream. In the autumn, they picked the juicy fruit, and people stopped and smiled at the pretty little tree with his shiny orange fruit.